I'm so excited that you joined us this week on Retiring Well. We have many topics outlined for you that we think are going to provide great value for. First, inherited IRAs. What do you do with them and how do you manage them so you can make sure you don't have to pay any penalties on distributions? Then we're going to get into some more information on Medicare. There's typically two main paths you can go down: Medicare Advantage versus Medicare Supplement. What does that look like and what may be appropriate for you? Then, how does it look like and what are some strategies you can use if you're heading into retirement with potentially less money than you had hoped for? And concluding the show, we're going to be getting into hobbies that in retirement that potentially can help earn you an income.
Retiring Well, brought to you by Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial advisors specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan. Retiring Well, helping you plan for a successful and comfortable retirement. Retiring Well, plan to retire well.
Inherited IRAs, these are typically funds that you're going to receive when either a parent or maybe a grandparent passes away and they had some type of retirement plan. So now these funds is money that hasn't been taxed yet. So now they go into an account in a special inherited IRA or beneficiary IRA. And in 2019 with the Secure Act, it introduced a 10-year payout structure or rule that you had to follow for inherited IRAs. And so prior to this, though, there was what was called a lifetime distribution table where you were set to take out a certain percentage each year based on your age, and that would continue for the remainder of your lifetime. So all that changed in 2019 with the Secure Act, and then in May of 2021, there was a revision to Publication 590B, and this was, of course, a 69-page guide, so the IRS doesn't want to make it too easy on you. And in this guide, the IRS stated certain distributions and how it had to happen annually, and you couldn't just simply wait until the 10th year. But then meanwhile, February of 2022, new IRS guidance came out requiring then these annual withdrawals, and so there was a lot of confusion that was happening over the past few years here as far as with inherited IRAs, how you can or cannot take the distributions and all that goes along with it. So distributions ultimately are based on the recipient's age along with what the IRA balance is as of the previous year end. So there's a calculation that goes into play there, and IRA distributions are going to be taxable income. So even if you're still working and maybe in a higher income situation, these distributions are going to show up on your tax return and ultimately may push you into even higher tax brackets. So something to be aware of. Now, you can take a lump sum from the IRA, but again, you want to be aware of what potentially could be some significant tax consequences if you had a large inherited IRA from a parent or grandparent and you are evaluating the option of maybe just, hey, I want to cash it in all in this 1 year. Be very careful with that, because again, you want to see what impact that's going to have on your household tax return. Now, with Roth IRAs, and when you're inheriting a Roth IRA, the Roth IRAs don't have required minimum distributions, and so you don't have these annual payment requirements, and so it provides additional flexibility. So our encouragement to you here at Centennial Wealth Advisory is if you have questions or unsure of how this inherited IRA might work in your scenario, we'd love the opportunity to sit down with you and talk to you about all of those tax consequences along with other tax consequences that you may not be aware of. So please give us a call.
Another great topic there that is sometimes actually a little confusing, especially with the recent law changes to inherited IRAs. A lot of people have a lot of different questions when it comes to that, and it doesn't help that usually when you're inheriting those IRAs it comes with a deep loss in the family or so forth, so that makes it all the more challenging. But it's just so important to make sure that you understand all the different rules associated with those inherited IRAs. Got a unique situation that just came across in the Gaylord office, and that was one where a couple, they were retiring somewhat young, before the age of 59 and a half, at age 57, and unfortunately one of their mothers passed away, but did leave them a little over $100,000 in an inherited IRA for them. Being that they were under the age of 59 and a half, it worked out well in their favor for income that they were going to deplete that inherited IRA over the next 10 years anyway. So before the age of 59 and a half, they were just going to take their income solely from that inherited IRA and deplete it rather quickly, but based on their plan, it worked out great for them.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those situations, anytime you have inherited IRAs in there, that is that loss that has happened, you know, it reemphasizes the responsibility that we have as financial advisors. You know, when people say, you were my second phone call, or you were my third phone call, you know, I had to talk to my minister, I had to talk to my family, but then I had to figure out, you know, how is this going to affect my life and my plan and so forth. It gives us that huge sense of responsibility and eagerness to help in that grieving time. You know, I recently had a lady from McBain where they had some inherited IRA and a lot of questions. And so we were able to coordinate that with their existing plan, and we worked in, as far as their tax planning goes, when and how we're going to take those distributions from the inherited IRA. And so when people can understand the why behind what they're doing, there is a different sense of peace. And so, you know, if you have questions about inherited IRAs, feel free, give us a call. We get to lead with teaching and figure out how we might be able to help. So feel free to give us a call anytime. Hey, stay tuned. Next, we're going to be talking about the difference between Medicare Advantage and the Medicare supplement plans.
This event today is actually a back-to-school shoe drive. That's how it started. It's been going on for years. It's one of Father Fred's main avenues about getting into the community, or how we get into the community. This year we took it into 5 counties, which was larger and newer for us. This week we're in Traverse City, Grand Traverse County, 5 days or 4 days this week. Today is our first big day out in the community. For communities coming here. We have had Vision to Learn, which does vision screenings for any child walking toddlers through teens. If a child fails the screening, they get a free exam and Vision to Learn van right over there. And if they need glasses, they are able to order the prescription and choose their glasses right out of that van. The glasses then arrive within 2 to 3 weeks, and they're shipped directly to the families. Once a child is in that system, they are capable of getting free glasses or replacement glasses for any needs that occur. So it's a pretty profound partnership that we're having. United Way helped us link that, so that's wonderful. We also have the dental van, Betsy River Dental Van, which does free screenings and mouth. They offer a lot of like dental care, you know, toothbrushes, toothpaste, that kind of thing. We also have Newton's Way or Newton's Road here, who offers these, I call them brainy kind of activities for children. They're called STEM kits, which you know, they're putting together and very good for the brain in children. We have those also from toddlers to teens. That's what we're doing today. It's been amazing. We cannot do this without our volunteers. This year has already shown us that numbers are big, which is pretty profound. I believe 90 children have gotten glasses already. I think we've done about 450 in shoes, and this year we're thinking we're gonna do about 800, so it's quite a big number. Next year, ideas are floating, and we're hoping to get more partnerships involved, and you know, the one-stop shop idea really helps benefit our community and those in need greatly.
Today I want to talk to you about what are your options when it comes to selecting which type of Medicare plan is going to be the best fit for you. Most people don't realize that original Medicare was never intended to cover all of a retiree's health expenses, similar to how Social Security was never intended to be a retiree's sole form of income. Thankfully, there are plans that you can enroll in to help fill in the gaps that original Medicare does not cover. Most people will get their Medicare coverage in one of two main ways. Option one is original Medicare with a Medicare supplement. These are government mandated plans. Medicare supplements, sometimes called Medigap plans, help to cover the gaps in original Medicare by paying the remaining co-payments and co-insurance and yearly deductibles that are not covered by original Medicare. There are several lettered plans that you can choose from. Each lettered plan is going to vary based on the level of coverage that it provides. For instance, a supplemental plan A provides the most basic coverage, while a supplement plan G covers nearly all potential costs. Original Medicare with a Medicare supplement is the most widely chosen option, as there's no required networks to be a part of, and it provides for a consistent expense each month. Option two is Advantage plans. These are sometimes called Part C of Medicare. Think of these as bundled plans that cover Part A and Part B and usually include Part D prescription drug coverage. Sometimes they'll also include dental, vision coverage, and a few other kind of ancillary benefits. There's generally a lower expense to Medicare Advantage plans than with Medicare supplements, but Medicare Advantage plans require a select network of providers and generally has higher out-of-pocket costs than original Medicare plus a supplement. When deciding which option is best for you, it's important to consider a few different things. Are you more concerned about a lower premium or peace of mind that you'll be covered for your future expenses? Do you travel? Do you go to Florida for part of the year or somewhere else and not want to be restricted to a specific network? If you have questions or want to know more about what are your Medicare options or the differences between Advantage plans and supplements, give us a call. We'd be happy to meet with you for a personal Medicare consultation.
Hi there, Nick Greenman, Financial Advisor with Centennial Wealth Advisory, out enjoying some beautiful northern Michigan weather on the golf course today. And you know what? You can draw so many parallels between golf and life and investing in general that I thought it'd be a great idea to just share a tip that I've seen out on the golf course. And you know, many times when you're out there, a lot of people are looking for that hole-in-one, right? They want to get that hole-in-one. And when it comes to investing, people are looking for that hole-in-one or that one stock position as well that's going to just meet all their goals and desires. And you know what? It's not out there. It's not something you should be focused on. There is no one specific investment that's going to be perfect to your goals and your objectives in retirement. You need a well-balanced portfolio to meet all your goals in retirement. And that's the same with golf, right? I mean, you don't go out there trying to get a hole-in-one or expecting a hole-in-one. Yeah, sure, you're trying for it, but you can't expect it. And that's why we have so many different clubs in the bag and so many different tools in the investment world to accomplish your goals. How to manage retirement
on less money. I mean, ideally, yes, we want to have the same lifestyle that we had in our working years in our retirement years, right? We want that same income, but oftentimes it's not doable, right? I mean, you're going from possibly a high-paying job to, okay, I'm living off the investments that I have and the Social Security and possibly pension that is out there. So it all starts with, okay, what are my income sources versus what are my expenses? That's where this all has to start. We need to lay those out. And so to start with that, we want to figure out what our fixed expenses are in retirement. So those fixed expenses, they could be if you still have a mortgage on your house. Okay, what's your mortgage payment on a monthly basis? Another fixed expense would be for your vehicle loans. Okay, do you have multiple vehicles? What are the payments for those different vehicles that are out there? Other fixed expenses could be health insurance, maybe certain utilities like your electrical. Okay, in the summer it's a little less than in the winter time, but on average this is what it's going to be. So once you know, okay, these are the funds that I know I have to have each and every month to meet my obligations, then we can develop a plan around that, right? So then we'll look at your income sources. We'll go into, okay, we know your Social Security is X. We also know, okay, I have a pension that pays this amount. What is the difference between those fixed expenses that we have and the guaranteed income sources that you have out there? Now, we don't want to forget the fun, okay? Because, I mean, retirement, this is the golden years of your life, right? You want to get out there and enjoy it. So we also want to include your fun in there as an expense as well. Now, given that that's not quite fixed, that could be tailored more so to the investable assets that you have. So once we have both those fixed expenses and then the different income sources that you have out there, then we can determine, okay, what's the best route to go to meet your obligations. So, I mean, some clients you'll see, hey, they've got that 3,000 square foot house that they spent the last 20, 30 years in. Do they really need that space? Maybe it's downsizing so that they don't have that mortgage payment anymore and they can use the equity that they have in the house to buy a smaller house. But there are lots of different options out there to determine what's the best way to possibly live on a little less in retirement. And really, it helps so much to put the numbers to the road, to hop onto that retirement analyzer software program that we talk so much about in the show, and put the numbers to the road and help paint that picture on what retirement on less might look like for you. So I encourage you, if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out on the number on the screen and ask for a free, no obligation consultation.
Hey, one of the best things that we get to do here at Centennial Wealth is to take a holistic approach. And so when clients come in and meet with us, sometimes they'll say, I don't know where my income is going to come from, or I don't know what my healthcare plan is going to be, or I have an estate issue that I want to discuss. We get to go there. We get to be able to help. And one of the biggest areas we've been helping is in the differences between Medicare Advantage and the Medicare Supplement plan. Recently, I had a couple out of Wellston, and they had retired, moved up, and had approached the Medicare age. And so we were able to sit down, we had a nice PowerPoint, we got to go through, okay, here are all the pros and cons of the Medicare supplement plans, here are the pros and cons of the Medicare Advantage plans. What are you planning on your retirement and doing? What are you comfortable with? What have you had in the past as far as providers go? And you gather all that information and you kind of narrow down what might be a good plan for them. And I know, Nick, we're able to continue to go even further in some of the examples.
Yeah, I had a couple that came in. They were out of the Grayling area, and the big question for them is, okay, what's the best plan for them that allows them the best coverage with all their traveling that they do in retirement? And in their case, the plan that gave them the most peace of mind was a Plan G. Anywhere nationwide they went, they could know, hey, if I had something come up, that Plan G is going to cover them for those expenses. The big question though for them was, okay, well, that's going to cost me some money, whereas the Advantage plan was a free premium plan. And so that was where the big debate was for them. Unfortunately, about 3 months after they pulled the trigger and went with the Plan G, the one lady was diagnosed with cancer. Thankfully for them, with that Plan G, pretty much everything was covered. They did a little cost analysis on Advantage Plan versus the Plan G, and it came out that the Plan G was best for that situation. Now, I mean, again, we're independent advisors. We can offer the whole gamut of products that are out there. And really, our recommendation is always going to be what gives you the most peace of mind when it comes to health insurance. There might be a one better way. You look back down the years, but you never know what life is going to bring. So you just want to go with what gives you the most peace of mind. Hopefully you found that valuable. Please stay tuned. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about hobbies for retirees that earn some money in retirement. You don't want to miss it.
At Centennial Wealth Advisory, we take a holistic approach to your retirement planning. So it's not just looking at what your investments are, but what is that long-term income plan for the next 30, 40 years of your retirement? What about taxes and what role they play in your retirement plan? Estate planning, what about life insurance, health insurance planning, all key areas to consider when looking at your retirement. So please visit our website or call the number on the screen. We'd love the opportunity to sit down with you for a no-cost, no-obligation visit.
Living life isn't always easy. It puts up challenges and obstacles you'll have to overcome. There are responsibilities. You put in effort to provide and take care of your family, to save and invest, to balance work and life. Planning is the first step to succeeding. Plan to retire well. If you like watching Retiring Well, make sure to go to youtube.com/retiringwell and click the subscribe button to never miss any of our TV shows and other informative videos.
I'd love to share with you some hobbies that you may be able to make some money with during retirement. So here we live in beautiful northern Michigan, and there's lots of different summertime activities, plenty of vacationers that come to our area in the summertime or even year-round now, and so let's talk through some of those opportunities for you. So maybe the first might be with fishing. Let's imagine that you want to be a fishing guide, and you could put that out there and help take some people out with you and everything. There's certain licenses, I'm sure, that you have to follow through with that. But I still remember a client that did fly fishing instructing. So I mean, you've got plenty of opportunities with the lakes and rivers and streams here in northern Michigan. Or maybe it's even working in a retail position where you could be talking to other fishermen about what are the hot spots that they should be checking out. Maybe another one is golfing. You know, maybe it's simply working in the pro shop, or it's working on the maintenance of the course. You know, maybe you're getting up early and mowing the lawns there, but one of the advantages of that would be maybe getting to enjoy a little bit of free golf, which I know most people won't complain about. So the other might be with pet care. So often today there's maybe opportunities for a doggy daycare or walking or watching over different dogs for either folks in the neighborhood or friends or something like that. Might be a little side gig that you can enjoy. One of the favorites for me would be with woodworking. That's one that I know a number of clients have shared, but as far as a little personal story, this baseball bat is something that my grandpa back in 1989 and in his workshop put together for me, and obviously put the little John Torbett logo on there, which was pretty cool and something that I've saved onto for all these years and means a whole lot to me. to have that up in my office. So, and it seems like with woodworking, as I talk to those of you that do that, there's always more tools that you need to buy. So maybe if there's ways you could make a little money off of that, might be able to pay for some additional tools. What about maybe sightseeing? There's tourism is so popular in northern Michigan, and people are always looking for different ideas. You know, you could open your own little business showing people around all the beautiful spots that we have here. Or maybe another would be working in a nursery or a flower shop. I know a number of you that enjoy gardening so much, and if it's something that you really are passionate about and enjoyed working in your garden, maybe there's a job that you could do and make a little extra cash on the side. So I'd encourage you though, if you are looking at doing these and if you are drawing Social Security prior to your full retirement age, you want to be careful of what your income would end up being. So if you have questions about that, you're always welcome to give us a call.
One of the neat things about being a financial advisor is kind of developing those relationships with our clients throughout the years and really getting to know them and understand what gives them the most joy in retirement. And it's so much fun to see them, whether it's they're out golfing or the stories about the big fish that they caught or their hunting adventures. And you know, oftentimes for a lot of our clients, just getting out there on the golf course is not enough. They want to be around it more, right? And typically it works out where they find a part-time job enjoying these hobbies. I know in the Gaylord area, I mean, being that we're in the golf mecca, being a golf starter or getting out cutting the grass a couple times a week at a golf course is just a very popular thing to do in retirement. Not only do these retirees get to be around people that enjoy the same hobbies, but they get a little bit of a paycheck and then the free golf as well. Another common situation is we get downstaters, they retire up north, they haven't been outside a lot, they haven't been enjoying that wildlife, and they love to be out hunting and fishing. So, I mean, in Gaylord we have the J Sporting Goods. So I got a number of clients that just work a few days a week there, get to be around like-minded people in the fishing department, and maybe get a few discounts on lures as well. So it's really neat to just see that evolve through the years with those different relationships.
Absolutely. You know, I have a story out of McBain where some educators, you know, had retired and they said, why not start a goat farm? And so went and bought a bunch of Carhartts and bought some goats and started a farm. But on the other side of farming, I know I hear a lot from the local farmers where having that dependable, reliable a worker that has been experienced, it just pays all kinds of dividends. And so you find a lot of our clients, you know, the best retirement is a part-time job, and they kind of loan themselves out just when they want to, when it works in their schedule, to go work at some of these local farms and do the best part of farming and maybe not so much the hardest part, where they get to kind of pick and choose that. Gets them out of bed every day. So, hey, thank you so much for spending your time watching our show. We love that we get to help teach and educate, give ideas, and we really want to help enrich your lives in a lot of different areas. So tune in next week, same time, same channel. See you then.